Right, so it's just ticked over to 11 o'clock, so we might get started. I know there's probably still a few people that are joining in, but hopefully they can get up to speed. And obviously this whole presentation will be recorded and sent up onto our website after the session ends. So if you miss anything or have anything that you'd like to follow up on, definitely have a look there and you'll be able to catch up on any of the details. But morning, everybody. Thank you all for joining our newest session in the Tourism Talks seminars. Today we're covering off on Instagram trends and anything that has something to do with Instagram and the social media that will help us move into recovery phase. I'm hoping that our little buttons here will click through. Might just get someone to click on the back end if they can. There it goes. Okay, so this morning we're hoping to cover off on a few different topics. So like I said, everything we're talking about today is Instagram related, but I think a lot of the trends do translate across social media channels. So whether that be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the new TikTok platforms, which are really bursting at the seams. But anything social media landscape will help promote your business in the future. So the whole seminar today will cover off on the top 5 trends for 2020 and how you might be able to integrate those into your copy, your posts, and into your business moving forward. We'll also cover off on some of the features of Instagram. Obviously, I'm sort of starting at baseline and working back on sort of entry level, people that may not have a lot to do with Instagram, just some of the features that you might be able to use and integrate into your next social media plan. And obviously at the end, we'll cover off on a bit of a checklist for success. So there's just a few tips there, things to consider moving forward into recovery and how you can really leverage social media moving forward. I'm not sure if I've got control. There it goes. Sorry, guys. So first of all, we want to just take a step back and look at the role of social media during and post-COVID. Currently, there's 2 main threads or uses of social media. And they're relevant during and in the sort of recovery phase post-COVID, the COVID crisis. First of all is the commercial purpose for social media. So that's basically talking to your customers, whether that be promoting a service, a deal, a product. It's sort of more giving people a call to action to do something. And then the second one, which we've probably seen more so throughout this crisis, is more the community purpose. Social media has played a big role in connecting us while we've all been stuck at home. So that's basically just talking with your customers, basically engaging with them. There's no call to action, it's just pure engagement. Like I've said, we've done a lot of that. Social media has played a big role in connecting us all virtually to maintain this engagement, whether that be personally or through our business engagement with our customer database. And it's also helped us to build an audience and really work on that authentic content to increase our brand loyalty, which is going to be vital moving forward into the post-crisis phase. As I said, I'm going to take a step back and just look at Instagram just as its bare bones and what is Instagram. So this is the Townsville, North Queensland homepage on Instagram. And I've just kind of like highlighted a few of the key components of the page. So obviously at the top there, you've got your Instagram handle. So that's how people find you. Your profile picture, which is obviously editable. We keep the same image across all our channels to keep it consistent. We've got our official hashtag there, and that's something that I'll touch on later. It's a great way to engage audiences and to build engagement. We've got our call to action, which is our link. So this is a section that you can update and edit at any point. And it's a great way to get people to take an action on Instagram. So obviously, unlike Facebook, Instagram doesn't allow within your post to have clickable links. But this is a great place to put anything that you'll hopefully get someone to lead on or as a conversion to take action. And then at the bottom of the top of the profile page there is your story highlights. So this is where through your Instagram stories, you can categorize them into different themes. And we've done that throughout our regions and sort of key campaigns that we've had in the past. Oh. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we're now going to move into some of the key Instagram trends for 2020. The first of those is the no edit edit. So basically this means that users on Instagram are looking for more authentic content, something that shows the real and unedited or unfiltered version of the truth. So basically it's indicating that people are looking to for hosts of Instagram to spend more time creating the content and less time editing. So that's without using those filters that sort of make you flawless, or the filters that change the sky into a different color. They're looking to see what's real. And that's something that will show how you're honest and you're real, and even your vulnerable side will help to build a stronger connection with your audience moving forward. And I think this is a great one to consider. We're lucky in the space that Townsville, North Queensland is such a spectacular location. You don't really need to edit or filter the photos that we have. So I think that's just something to consider moving forward, just to really pare back the content you're putting out and spend a lot of time on just capturing the moment, I suppose. The second key trend is in influencer marketing and e-commerce. I think this will be a key thing to consider once we're into recovery phase and looking to rebuild tourism in North Queensland. There's a function in Instagram that allows you to tag your posts with a shopping tag. So this, if you think outside the box, and it's something that Townsville, North Queensland, our corporate and our social pages haven't really utilised too extensively up until this point, but it's definitely an opportunity. It's something where you can basically tag anything on your page that will showcase, it's like a link through, so they can click through to a shop or to purchase something on it. So even thinking out the box, whether it's a tour, so you can have a tag on it as a beautiful photo of your boat that's out on Maggie Island. You can add the tag on there. It's like a shop link that shows how, like a click through to a shop so you can purchase that tour. So this functionality is reserved to creator or business accounts. I've got links throughout this presentation too with more information on how to set up your account to make sure that it has the functionality for each of these things. So that's where all those hyperlinks come in. But definitely this is one to consider for our recovery phase, moving out of sort of our isolation and looking to really convert audiences who have been engaged with the dreaming phase into basically purchasing tours and getting out and experiencing what you guys have to offer. The third key trend for 2020, and it's probably something that people know a lot about because it's definitely one that hasn't been shy to shout its name from the rooftops, TikTok or Reels. So it's a video sharing app. So TikTok is a separate app to Instagram, but the functionality of TikTok translates into creating content for Instagram stories. It's basically short, sharp, usually set to music. Sort of the key demographic for this is the younger audiences, but it does translate into sort of generating content that's visually appealing and really catchy. And it's definitely a focus on that, on authentic, real and unfiltered content. A lot of the time people are shooting it in their backyards with no fancy lighting. It's just a great way to sort of capture a moment and hopefully create something that can go viral. The fourth key trend that I've found on Instagram is that the brand of voice is more important than ever. And I think this definitely, we've seen this happen throughout our COVID experience. We are understanding the real values of a business or the real values of our community through how they've been posting on social media. The main trend that has sort of the underlying things that have identified this trend is basically the caption length. So previous to now, and even moving back into, I think it was 2016, Instagram was mainly known for its visual appeal. It was a place that you looked at pretty pictures. But leading into sort of the 2019, 2020 phase, people are looking more into that sort of storytelling element. So that's shown a big increase in the caption length that goes alongside those visuals on Instagram. So it's almost like creating a mini blog on social media where people can spend a bit more time reading about that experience or the vision that's basically captured on that post. By having a longer caption and having those mini blog series, it's encouraging people to spend more time on your page, which obviously translates to higher engagement, which is definitely a benefit if you're trying to build an audience, build your brand loyalty and a new customer base. Telling that story and getting them involved. So I've got a few tips. I thought we'd dive a little bit deeper here with the brand voice and how you can apply that to your marketing in the new world. So the first thing is to flip the script and think about what you want to say before you pick the picture. So at the end of the day, people want to hear your message. As I said, they are looking for pretty pictures, but they are looking to more read about your story and learn about you. So create those mini blogs or micro blogs about a topic related to your brand and how and about you, I suppose. So using this landscape or the Instagram platform as a way to share your story more than just a pretty photo. Create captions to create a mini guide. So this is really key to those in the tourism industry as a way about how to experience your offer. So whether that be going out on a tour or how to find your accommodation, basically give them a guide into how to do that alongside a great visual, whether it's a short video or a stunning photo of your experience. And always include a call to actions or a CTA. So I'll talk about it a bit later, but a few years ago, Instagram removed the like algorithm, and the way that you are positioned higher on a news feed in Instagram is now with the save. So if you've got great engaging content that people want to keep for later as a guide to how to do something, they'll click save, and that will help with building, help with that algorithm to bump you up the chain in people's news feeds. Another great tip is to create a brand tone of voice guide for social media. Townsville, North Queensland have one of these and it sort of guides everything that we put on our socials. It sort of sets the kinds of words we use, the terms we shouldn't use, the kinds of photos we want to showcase, the way we want to make people feel. It's a good thing to have as a guide if you have multiple people looking after your channels, or even if you're lost for a post for the day and you kind of go back to basics, you might be able to find what to sort of say to your audience just by going on who you are and what your brand voice is. And lastly, there is to write captions on your computer instead of your phone. So this is just one that gives you the headspace to really think and write. All the time we're on our phones, we're doing a lot of things on our phones. But if you're dedicating time to write and sit at your computer to do that, it often gives you sort of clear headspace to really build that brand voice and put some real thinking time to your writing in your posting on Instagram. And now we've got our final Instagram trend. It's number 5. So everyone can be an influencer. We all know the big macro influencers. You'll see by that chart there, the ones with the huge followings, the likes of the Kim Kardashians of the world. They're the ones that have the big following, and whatever they post on there, people either do or don't believe. But the 2020 is now sort of the year of the nano-influencer. So this is where anyone and everyone with Instagram on their phones or have an account, they can be an influencer. And it also sort of tends to lean towards that word of mouth style of marketing, or like a trusted recommendation from a friend. It's a peer-to-peer kind of engagement. So if you sort of find people that are really supportive of your message or your brand, lean on those people, find out who they are, try to work with them, build partnerships, build a relationship. It's definitely something to consider in our new world. We're all going to have to band together to get through it, and I think this is a great one to point out. So now I'm going to sort of just touch on the features of Instagram. This is just something to bare bones, go back to the basics, things to consider into how to incorporate something, whether you've done it before or sort of maybe think about it differently. And the first of those is Instagram TV. So this is one of the sort of biggest movements on Instagram at the moment, is the video capacity of Instagram. So this one here is where it's like a mobile version of TV. So you can upload videos up to 10 minutes long. So there's a real trend towards building like a series of content on Instagram TV. So whether you're picking a storyline or you want to tell a different component about your experience, whether you want to, if you've got a restaurant business and you want to kind of go back and do sort of video, cooking videos and that sort of thing, all of this can be posted on Instagram TV. And it's a great way to sort of build that engagement. It definitely helps in your search section. So if you look back on your Instagram feed, there's the search function or explore. The icons that it uses for Instagram TV are 4 times bigger than that of a normal post. So it definitely increases your visibility. And it's definitely one that, if you've got great content, it's a way to sort of tell your story in a longer form, where you're not sort of stopped at the 1 minute or 3 minute mark. And these are the other features here. So Instagram stories. So these are the, on your icon on the Instagram homepage, around your profile picture, there's, if you'll notice on other profiles, it'll light up with a different sort of circle around it. That indicates that people have loaded content to their story. So this is either video or photo or a combination of the both, and it stays on your channel for 24 hours. A good example of what we've done throughout our sort of COVID period is we had a takeover by the Queensland Museum. We had curators actually run their stories direct to the Townsville, North Queensland page. So they basically did a takeover, and it went really well. It's a great sort of way for people to check in or out. It wasn't long drawn out content, they're short and sharp. And it sort of made it timely. So if you wanted to see that content, you had to be on that day. So it's definitely one, there's a whole section there. I think I've got it in that link. It tells you how to sort of build an Instagram campaign, Instagram story campaign, sorry. And it's definitely a different way of thinking, I suppose, than your standard social media marketing. So definitely check out that link. And Instagram, spoke about it briefly before, other saves, and I've highlighted that with a little yellow circle on that picture there. So it's like a bookmark, and you can basically go back or build collections of your saves in Instagram. And like I said, it's the new algorithm to bump up your content in the feed of other people and basically showcase you above others. So if you're getting a lot of people saving your content, yeah, it's definitely good for your brand. It builds your engagement and boosts your your engagement. And then we've got hashtags. Townsville, North Queensland consistently use our official hashtag Townsville Shines. We use this in a way that we can find user-generated content to use on our social media channels. So anyone that's used hashtag Townsville Shines, we can basically search that, and it comes up with any content. And it's a great way for us to see where other people are posting, use that content, but it helps boost engagement as well. So in different searches, you'll come up if you're using sort of popular hashtags. But definitely, I didn't recommend people start thinking about whether you can build your own official hashtag. It would definitely, in the long term, it sort of looks to build your brand identity and helps with that engagement piece. And if people are sort of searching on hashtags or the use of your hashtag, if it starts to increase, it definitely builds you up the list on Instagram. And the last one there is augmented reality filters. So this is a new one that I hadn't come across before, and it, as much as it goes sort of against that real and authentic content that I'd spoken about before, it's definitely a really fun and engaging way to sort of change up your content on Instagram stories. It's actually really cool. You can change different filters and overlay things onto your own content. So I'd recommend checking out that one. It's sort of, it's a link there. It shows you how to upload those to your content on Instagram stories. And it's a really fun way to build some quirky content, capture your audience in a different way. Lastly, now we're going to just move along to some of the tips that I've found to help boost Instagram success in your business. So these are some of the tips on how to get some more followers. Firstly, as I mentioned, creating an Instagram TV series. So I think if you're going to head down this track, it's definitely worth putting a bit of thought to what kind of content you want to showcase, putting a bit of time aside to do it so it comes off polished. And like I said, it's got a 10-minute window there, so you've got a bit of time in that video space to build something. But yeah, definitely have a think about how it fits with your brand direction and your brand goals, as well as your business goals, what you're trying to achieve with those videos. Secondly, they work with micro-influencers. So that's just looking within our own backyard. People that have, it's about a following of 20,000 people or more. And that's just trying to capture their audience as well as share your message. If they're already advocates of your work, then they're already on board. So just finding them, building partnerships, building relationships, and looking for ways to work on content together. Write longer captions on your posts. As I said, it's a great way to sort of build that engagement. They're on your page longer and they're reading about you, not just looking at a pretty picture. Appear in related accounts suggestions on Instagram. Then obviously they treat your Instagram profile like a homepage. Like I said, everything on that homepage section I spoke about earlier, it's all customizable and you can change it at any time. With Instagram not letting you put or embed links in your post, it's a great way to build a call to action and send people there. So a lot of the time in posts that we've seen and even used ourselves is when you're writing copy, if you want someone to do something, whether that be to book now or read more, learn more, you send them to your bio link, and that's where you can have your clickable link ready to send them to find more information. So keep that in mind if you're looking to have a campaign or direct people to your website to build traffic, that sort of thing. It's somewhere you can customize and edit at any point. Post more videos on your feed. This is a big one, especially in the world we've been living in with having to be connected via social media. People are usually more engaged with the short video than they are with just a still image, but not to say that unless the quality of the image is amazing, but videos are definitely more engaging. Surprisingly, share your selfies. People want to know who you are as well as the business or the opportunity, the experience. So yeah, that goes just down to that real and authentic content. They want to learn about the people as well as the place. Promote your Instagram content on other platforms, and that's just that cross promotion, generating or using these similar tips across any channel that you have, and looking to opportunities to expand your social media to incorporate new platforms. Customize your social media or your Instagram stories. That's what I said with the AR filter, the augmented reality filters, or using those as a campaign basis. Looking to collaborate with other brands that could be in other influencers or similar brands that support your business. So if you're a restaurant, for example, and you have brands that supply your stock, you could obviously partner with them if they've got an interesting story to tell. It's a great way to build out your story, and you're not just a restaurant that serves something on a plate. You've got a story on how you connect with the community and where you source your product. Use branded hashtags to create an Instagram community. Like I said, it's great to have your own official hashtag, and even look at other sort of more generic hashtags that will help build your engagement. And lastly, they just create memes that resonate with your audience. Don't be shy to be creative. Look at things that are trending in general media. So whether that's, for example, the wheelie bin situation in Australia throughout COVID, that was definitely one that started to get a lot of traction on social media. So if you're playing off things that are quirky or funny in the news, it's definitely an opportunity to align your brand with something that's got positive media in the broader spectrum. Here we want to talk about how to drive more traffic from Instagram. So this is when we're looking at social media as one part of a bigger marketing campaign. So when you're using your social media as an awareness piece to sort of tell your story, but you want them to follow through and to do something extra or do something next in that next step. So what I suggest here, so add your links to your Instagram TV. So like I said before, Instagram doesn't allow you to put clickable links in your posts, aside from that bio link at the beginning in your profile. But Instagram TV does. So in those longer pieces that sit within Instagram TV, you can embed links. So that's a great option to sort of drive traffic to, whether it's a website or a special shop offer, that sort of thing. Leverage your bio by updating your link and referring it to your content. So that's where it's directing people to your bio link as your call to action. Create engaging and actionable Instagram stories. So Instagram stories are only up for 24 hours, but I think it's a great way to sort of do those short education pieces and get them to do something in that next clickable step. So whether you're introducing a new product or you've got a new experience ready to offer, you could do sort of like a behind the scenes Instagram story that will then tell them to click their the link in your bio to find more information or to buy that tour. And lastly, get creative with your Instagram stories. There's heaps of different features that you can add to them. So whether they're the stickers, the countdown stickers, if you've got a countdown to a special milestone, if you've got some reminders, so it can set calendar reminders for a launch date, if that's a launch date down to whether you've got a new offer coming on, or polls just to build engagement. So if you're keen to find out what people really like or don't like, polls are another great way to interact with your audience. And this is our final slide here, guys. So this is just a social media checklist. So it's something that you can take away and have a look at and think about with embedding it into your own social media strategies. So first there's developing a social media strategy. A lot of the time, businesses are so busy just doing their business, they sort of don't think about a broader strategy with their social media. And I think it's really important to have a goal in mind when you're doing things on social media. So have a look at that link there. It's a great way. It's sort of a step-by-step guide on things to consider, how you're positioning your social media, using your brand voice to align to your business goals, and yeah, pinpoint sort of areas that you can build upon with new content to build your business brand moving forward. Second there, create or update your brand tone of voice guidelines. I think that's an important one. Invest your time in social media and take a short course. So it's probably a great opportunity at the moment. We might have a little bit extra time on our hands being at home. So there's a lot of short courses available. A lot of them are free. So I'm hoping you might have learned something from today's webinar, but we've got a marketing masterclass, which is a list on our website with various courses that are free of charge, with things like Facebook, Instagram, that sort of thing. So definitely have a look at that and sort of do a bit of a deep dive on things that you might be able to learn and capitalize on to get ready for your recovery phase. Another tip is here to try and plan your content for a week and dedicate about 30 minutes in total into writing all of the content at once rather than post by post. So that goes back to the tip earlier about sitting at your computer and dedicating time to write. I think a lot of the time if you're doing it post by post, you're sort of half thinking about what's the next thing you got to do or what's next on your list rather than dedicating your mind to the moment and doing your post when you need it. I did find some information there about the best time to post. So they're suggesting there, as in the Instagram gurus are suggesting 9 to 11 a.m. is one of the best times to post. But I think if you've got a business account on Instagram or even Facebook, you can go into the analytics of your page and you can find the key times that people are really engaged with your page. So I think it's worth checking that out as well to sort of find where your audience is really engaged in your content. Going to the Townsville, North Queensland page, for example, we find our audience is engaged early and late. So we sometimes tend to put two posts up. So one early in the morning for those early risers, or even to catch the ones that hadn't seen it the day before. And then late at night, when people are sort of clocking off work, they've done dinner, they've done the kids' stuff, and they're ready to just wind down. So they'll have a quick scroll through. I think that's another key time to post as well. And lastly, there is your video and storytelling. They are key. Like I said, at the end of the day, people want to get to know you and they genuinely want a story to listen to or to read about. So sort of think about what stories you have to tell, where everyone has a story, and how you can basically showcase that in a video or an Instagram TV session, a cool photo with a nice little mini blog. I think it's just all about thinking about what your story is and how to tell it in the best way. So that wraps us up for the content I had today, guys. But if you have any questions, definitely send them through in that Q&A section, and I'd be happy to answer them as best I can. Okay, so the first question there, can you go back to old stories and save? You can go and build a story highlights. As I said, they're only live on your page for 24 hours. But if you've posted them yourself, you should be able to find them and build those stories. I'll be able to find some more information on that, and I can send it through to you, Tara. Crystal's got there, can you post on Instagram from your computer? You definitely can. So there is a few, there is a few social media posting or scheduling platforms that you can use. We use one called Later. It's a great platform you can cover off on. So we do social media for Instagram, Facebook and Twitter all through Later. And it's one that you can sit and do all at your desktop and you can post in advance. We find it really handy. So like I said, you can sit down at your computer at the start of the week and then post forward for the week, scheduling those posts all the way out. So yeah, definitely look into one of those sort of social media schedulers as an option to do from your computer. Is there a way to share user content that you have your hashtag, that you've used your hashtag? Sorry. Great, so that's the one that we use. Like I said, we use Later, and you can use that as a filtering system to find where your hashtag is. Another one that we use is called CrowdRiff. So it's another platform that it has this functionality to basically search hashtags. In terms of on Instagram itself, you can search Instagram hashtags directly in the app itself as well. And that's another way to sort of find your content who have used that video. Oh, you went videos. Sorry, Melissa, I only just read your top one there. So you mean, if you're using your hashtag, you can search hashtags. I'm not sure you can search videos. You'd have to just use the hashtag to search. I hope that answers the question. Where do you find the analytics part in your Instagram you were talking about? So the analytics, it depends what kind of account you have. So if you've got a business account, there's usually like 3 little dots in the corner that you can click on, and that'll bring in, it's called Insights on Instagram. So you just have to check what account you have. If it's a business account, you'll definitely be able to find those analytics. Would you use the same content for Insta stories or stories on Facebook? It sort of depends who your audience is, Louise. So with Instagram and Facebook, there's, as much as they're sort of the same kind of content, you can definitely change it up just to suit the real demographic of each platform. So we do, and at Townsville, North Queensland, we do sort of change our content slightly across the platforms to target different people. It's not to say you can't use the same content to save time. I definitely am all for saving time and you need to, but it's probably worth having a look at who your audience is, and maybe sort of using that as your starting point to decide whether you can just use the same content or if you have to change it up slightly. Sorry, I'm just reading one question. It's just a little long. Are there any specific required videos that are aware of any other links? So Instagram TV, they don't really have, well, they've got a 10-minute length on most accounts for Instagram TV videos. If you're having trouble, so you might be loading it directly to Instagram. So it might even pay to download. So there is a separate app for Instagram TV. It does link in with your actual Instagram account. So it sits in itself. It's the same kind of account, but it sort of keeps Instagram TV separate. So if you're having trouble posting those to Instagram, maybe just use that separate app to just see if it's the video itself or it's just getting itself confused with trying to post directly to Instagram. I hope that answers it, Crystal. Do all those social media scheduling platforms cost money, or are they free? There are free ones. I know both Later, and there's another one called Hootsuite. They do have entry-level sort of accounts. As with most things, they have plans that are available once you've used different kind of capacity of different functions on their site. So I definitely suggest having a look at Later, especially for Instagram. Later are actually one of they're sort of the top Instagram social media scheduling platform globally. So they're sort of the top of their field. But yeah, they're sort of the two I'd go looking at the moment, Claire. How do you invite people to take over your stories? Do they need to log into your account? So yes, so to take over your Instagram, they do need to log in as you. So obviously you've got to have a bit of a trust with that relationship to give over your login details. But yeah, we just obviously gave the details over to Queensland Museum, and they posted as they were us for the day. And it was something that we approached them to do as part of this virtual staycation content series. So it's a concept we came up with them, and yeah, we basically work with them to roll that content out. If that relationship it's easy enough to change a password after you do that. So if you want to sort of set up a few passwords that you can do different logins for separate people, it's definitely one way to do that. I think it worked really well for us. Definitely got a lot of, it was definitely new kind of content, different way to engage with our audience, and it was really well received. So one thing to keep in mind, I'd really recommend it. Can you save Insta stories? You can. So that's when you can put them as part of those story highlights at the bottom of your profile page. So I can send you some details on how to do that, Louise, if you like. So I'm just writing notes so I don't forget to do that. Okay, do you delete stories specific bio link to general website if you've posted to a news story which doesn't relate to previous bio link? Do you need to be? Okay, bio link. So we typically Townsville, North Queensland, we typically keep ours as our standard website. A lot of the time we drive all of our content through our website as it's sort of the primary source of truth, I suppose. It just sort of depends on where you're sending people. If you're looking to do a specific campaign that has its own landing page, then you would need to update it to depend on what content you're running with on your page at the time. You're running and whether you're looking to always drive them to a website, or if you have multiple different links that you're looking to engage them on. I would always try and keep it simple if you can. If you have a landing page or a website, use that as best you can, or as its one source of truth. Then you can't get your audience too confused with multiple landing pages. But it can be customized or updated into with that bio link. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Free social media classes similar to this today on your website. So on the Townsville Enterprise website, it's called Marketing Masterclass. In the presentation there is a link directly to the page. It'll be on our Business Assist Hub, I'd imagine. So that's on our homepage. If you click and find Business Assist Hub, there should be a link to the Marketing Masterclass. And it's basically a list of our sort of top 8 things that we've found that you can do for free to help build your social media knowledge. Or like I said, it's in this presentation, there's a link directly to the page. Okay. Well, I think that was all the questions that have come through so far. I've taken a few notes and I hope with things I can follow up on, but if you have any direct questions, definitely feel free to reach out. I'm happy to sort of guide you or give you some more information on Instagram or social media as best I can. I'm not claiming to be an expert by any stretch, but I'm happy to put you in touch with some other information to help you in your social media planning for the future.